I used to be like you, right? I believed blindly, And when you become older, you will realize that it was all a lie, right? I mean, you've been indoctrinated all your life from your childhood.
No, that's not true. So that's why I'm here spending time with you, so kindly mute up.
What, you think you're some kind of Jedi waving your hand around like that? I'm a Toydarian. My tricks gonna work on me. Only money.
Yes, the miracles sound crazy, healing the blind. Now, if you know anything about Pontius Pilate, he was an actual Roman governor that was the one to crucify Jesus.
Many people said that he didn't exist, he was made up by the gospel writers, and then a stone with his name was discovered in Caesarea Maritima, which proved he was a real person.
Now, after he crucifies Jesus, he's tasked with sending a police report to Tiberius Caesar, and guess what? We have it. I am almost ready to say, as did Manlius at the cross, truly, this was the Son of God.
Oh, you're telling me that I will go to hell if I don't believe in Jesus, right?
Yes, 100%. It's your fault.
If he were telling the truth, he wouldn't have told us.
Unless, of course, he knew you wouldn't believe the truth, even if you told it to you.
And you have to understand, if you keep thinking that Jesus is a fairy tale, this is horrible. I would never want you to go to hell, Kravis, especially because you think it's a fairy tale.
All right, but I did not even bring up the flood story, right? I mean, I wanted to come up with something else because I wanted to talk about Jesus, right? Why I think it is a fairy tale. First of all,
What, you think you're some kind of Jedi waving your hand around like that? I'm a Toydarian. My tricks gonna work on me. Only money.
allegedly miracles of Jesus, healing the blind, raising the dead alive, walking on water, turning water into wine. I mean, come on, man. You cannot believe this is reality. This is not rational, right? This is impossible, right? I used to be like you, right? I believed blindly, because you had to have blind faith to believe in things like this, right? And when you become older, you will realize that it was all a lie, right? I mean, you've been indoctrinated all your life from your childhood. Then finally you wake up, you realize, hey, when you die, it is black, it is lights out, right?
No, that's not true. So that's why I'm here spending time with you, so kindly mute up. Yes, the miracles sound crazy, healing the blind. The disciples said, who is this man that even he controls the winds? Now, if you know anything about Pontius Pilate, he was an actual Roman governor that was the one to crucify Jesus.
The Pontius Pilate stone, he was the prefect of Judea in the time of Christ, and we're told that he was the one who condemned Christ. Many people said that he didn't exist, he was made up by the gospel writers, and then a stone with his name was discovered in Caesarea Maritima, which proved he was a real person.
Now, after he crucifies Jesus, he's tasked with sending a police report to Tiberius Caesar, and guess what? We have it. So let me just read to you just the very last portion of what Pontius Pilate writes to the emperor of Rome in regards to this man, Jesus Christ. I asked him if he had been questioned by the priest. He said he had. They wanted him to say it was an earthquake and that they were asleep, and offered him money to say that the disciples came and stole Jesus. But he saw no disciples. He did not know that the body was gone until he was told. I asked him what was the private opinion of those priests he had conversed with. He said that some of them thought that Jesus was no man, that he was not a human being, that he was not the son of Mary, that he was not the same that was said to be born of the Virgin in Bethlehem, that the same person had been on the earth before Abraham and Lot, and at many times and places. It seems to me that if the Jewish theory be true, these conclusions are correct, for they are in accord with this man's life. Remember what Jesus said? Ye shall know them by their fruits. And Pilate is judging Jesus by his fruits. That's why he said that I wash my hands, because he found no guilt in Jesus. It seems to me that if the Jewish theory be true, these conclusions are correct, for they are in accord with this man's life, as is known and testified by both friends and foes. For the elements were no more in his hands than the clay in the hands of the potter. He could convert water into wine, which is his first miracle, Kravis. Pontius Pilate is telling Tiberius Caesar about his first miracle, disease into health. He could calm the seas, still the storms, call up fish with a silver coin in his mouth, which is one of my favorite passages because Jesus said, well, then the sons are free. But so you don't offend them, go ahead and throw a hook in the water. And the first fish you grab, open its mouth and pull out a silver coin, and that'll serve as yours and mine. Pilate is telling Tiberius Caesar of this. Now I say, if he could do all these things, which he did, and many more, as the Jews all testify, and it was doing these things that created this enmity against them in the first place. The whole reason why the Jews, the Pharisees, the Sanhedrin wanted to unalive him was because he was doing all these miracles. And the whole reason why these strangers from all these foreign lands were flocking over was because they were desperate. They didn't have a cushion, comfortable life like you, have all this money. No, they were desperate. But you, living your life of comfort, thinking that believing in Jesus is a fairy tale. That's why he said to the Laodiceans, you say that you're rich and you have all your needs met, but you don't know how miserable, poor, and wretched and blind you are. I'm trying to wake you up, Kravis, because like I said, you're dying soon. 1944, bro. What are you, 81? You're the same age as John Lennox. I worry for my brother John Lennox because I know he's gonna die soon. But so are you, but I don't want you to die and go to hell. And when you say that this is all a fairy tale and you're talking about Jesus' miracles, Pilate is saying all these things and confirming those miracles to Tiberius Caesar.
All right, so...
Wait, let me just conclude. Let me just finish. I'm almost done. He was not charged with criminal offenses, nor was he charged with violating any law, nor of wrongdoing any individual in person. And all these facts are known to thousands, as well by his foes as by his friends. I am almost ready to say, as did Manlius at the cross, truly, this was the Son of God. Now, noble sovereign, this is as near the facts in the case as I can arrive at. And I have taken pains to make the statement very full, so that you may judge of my conduct upon the whole, as I hear that Antipater has said many hard things of me in this matter. With the promise of faithfulness and good wishes to my noble sovereign, I am your most obedient servant, Pontius Pilate.
All right, can I respond? So, you're telling me that I will go to hell if I don't believe in Jesus, right? So, am I the one to blame because I am not fully convinced that the Bible is from God? If God cannot convince me with his book...
Yes, 100%. It's your fault because you were satisfied with being convinced that he's a fairy tale and you never had a true desire to actually seek if he's really true.
If he were telling the truth, he wouldn't have told us.
Unless, of course, he knew you wouldn't believe the truth, even if you told it to.